Hello, it is weathering again today. So it's sunny, the sun's just come out and I don't trust it, and neither should you, because it's going to rain again. So I'm in here where I'm less likely to get rained on. I've got a little bit to talk about, including this, which I did finally get wet finished. I meant to have it done for last week and I simply did not. This is the clasped weft. The weft is the side to side, and you can tell it's a clasped weft because you've got green on this side and purple on this side, and they meet in the middle. So it's kind of like a double thick weave. Now, this is not visually that different because it is acrylic. So the green is acrylic and the purple is an acrylic merino blend, which is not, in my experience, a common blend. But then again, I haven't seen every yarn in the world yet. I will one day. But generally speaking, merino tends to be blended with wool or alpaca or cotton or something like that. So visually, it is much the same as it was before it was wet finished, but it is softer. Now, I don't know if all acrylics have a coating on them. In my experience, most of them do. And that is just like, I don't know if it's the same reason as they put a coating on new fabric. If you go to the fabric shop, and you should, and touch the fabric on the roll, which you're allowed to, it has a sort of coating on it to keep it nice on the roll while it's in the shop, and that gets washed off when you get it home. Acrylic also tends to have a coating on it, and I don't know if it's for the same reason. I would suggest maybe not. I think it's just part of the manufacturing process for acrylic. But that coating can wash off and give you a nice soft finish. So that's the drape dance, to show you that it is drapey. I haven't packed it too tightly. Sometimes with clasped weft, I am a little bit too, I pack it in too tightly and then it's a bit stiff, but this is all fine. This is all fine and good and ready to go. And when I say ready to go, I mean I've got a market coming up, and what I need to do is find all of the scarves that I have scattered around here that are not in the special scarf storage box. I do have a special scarf storage box, hard to say apparently, and they're not in that. There's some in there, but not all of them. So I need to round them all up because they're all sort of around here in bags from having done videos with them, and tag them, price them, get them ready to go. So also off the loom last week was this, and it needed a wet finish, and it has had one, and it has bloomed because this is alpaca. The white is alpaca and the pink is merino, and they're both by, oh, I got it wrong and I had to correct myself last time, heirloom yarns. It's heirloom merino magic for the coloured one, and the white one is heirloom alpaca 8-ply. Is it heirloom? Yes, because it's heritage is the cross stitch. It's just that the words are so similar and they mean so much the same thing. So this has come out really well. I'm pleased with this. It's got a little bit of bloom, but one of the beautiful things about the way that this has come out, I'm just going to go over here with it for a minute. I'm trying to show you the whole length. It's quite hard inside, although I'm no further from the camera as I normally am. Anyway, what this has got, and there's a good example that may show up, is some fabulous tracking. Is it showing up? Yeah, a little bit there. You can see that little diagonal line just there. A little bit of tracking. So there's tracking all through the white stripes, and a little bit of tracking in the pink stripes. I'm going to try and find another example. Some people hate tracking. I love it. The reason I love it, there's a really good example there. Is that showing up? Yeah. So that diagonal line there that goes right up across the stripe. The reason I love it is because it looks like you've done fancy weaving, and you haven't. It's just tracking. It's just the way that sometimes the yarn happens. Happens mostly, in my experience, in cotton. I'm doing a lot of talking about my experience, which is fair because it's the only experience I have. Happens a lot in cotton. And apparently also happens a lot in alpaca, which is cool, and it's cool by me. Some people hate it. Some people sort of, how do I get rid of this? And you can't really. Once it's there, it's there. That's fluffy. The alpaca is very fluffy. There has been a change in shrinkage, not a change in shrinkage, a difference in shrinkage, which you can tell by looking at the fringe. So you can see maybe there, because that was all the same length when I wet finished it. The merino has shrunk up a little bit more, and not even accounting for the fact that this is a little bit twisty there. So the merino has shrunk up a little bit more than the alpaca has. So there is not a huge difference to look at, like it's not like lumpy or bumpy or anything, but there is a difference in the shrinkage. So off the loom, but not wet finished, is this skipped dent one. And this is going to be so interesting when it's wet finished because it's stiff at the moment and needs a good soak in some wool wash. This is pure wool. And it's the skipped dent, when you can see that sort of lumpy texture. One there and one there where I skipped the dent, where I just didn't put any yarn in the holes or the slots, just so that I could have that sort of pebbly, bumpy texture with this textured yarn. So I'll see how that comes out in the wash because it will change structure. This is wool. This is Lincraft Big Wool, which I think is discontinued. And this is Bendigo Woollen Mills. Oh, I need to write these things down. I can't remember what it's called. The colourway is Mystic. It used to be called Bloom. Prism, I think. I'll put it in the description anyway. So this blue is not discontinued. This is one of the few yarns I'm showing you this year. Although the pink and the white are both still available. So that is still available. The chunky wool is not. And it is quite stiff because it is pure wool. So I'm going to give this a good soak in some wool wash. And hopefully that will soften it. And also everything will bloom and settle. And I'll get some nice textures there. I just have to twist the fringe, which I will get to. I'll get to, maybe by next week. I don't know. Put that over there. So on the little loom, I do have something else. It's quite fresh, but you're not going to be able to see the hem stitching. So I'm doing quite well with that. Because normally, hello, I'm down here, I'm coming back. Normally you see quite a lot of my hem stitching. But the hem stitching is hidden in under here at the moment. I'm going to hold that up a little bit higher, stand on tippy toes. So this is a plain weave, and it's a little bit narrower than my usual weaves. Just because I tend to think, oh, why are you doing that, you diva? I tend to just make a wide scarf because it's just how it just tends to happen. It's not something that I think about, it just happens. So I thought in this case I would go a little bit narrower. And this yarn is, here we go, Ice Yarns Puzzle Wool. And it is a 50% wool and acrylic mix. And this was grabbed out of the middle of the stash. So last night, I was standing around staring at the stash, staring at part of the stash. I have stash in too many places in my house, but I was looking at the part of the stash that really needs the most reduction because it's a bit precarious on the shelf. And I was deciding what to put on the loom. And then I get sort of decision paralysis, which is ridiculous because it's not permanently on the... This is not a tattoo. This is going to be off the loom fairly quickly and I can put something else on, so it's fine. But, you know, I stand there and look at all the yarns and go, well, I want to use that, but I also want to use that. So I thought what I'll do is just close my eyes, shove my hands into this pile of wool, and whatever I pull out, I will work with. And I happened to pull out this one. So then I thought, well, that's great, but I've woven a scarf with this as the warp and the weft. So I thought, well, let's do something a bit different. So I decided to match it with this one, which is Wanderer by Patton's Yarn, or Peyton's Yarn. Is it Peyton's or Patton's? I always say Patton's, but I think it might be Peyton's. Wanderer 8-ply, which has just been kicking around in the stash for no particular reason for quite some time. So I've got the feature stripe there, just for visual interest, and it is a narrower scarf, about the same length as I normally do, just a little bit narrower. And I just thought that this sort of rusty red would work well with this rusty yellow. Quite a lot of rust in this scarf. So that's what's happening with the weavings. There we go, for my next trick. Now the cross stitch, a little bit of progress on the cross stitch, not as much as I would like, but as I said last week, I'm only kind of doing maybe 1 or 2 threads at a time because I've got a lot on. And also video games. Anyway, this is what it looked like. Also, video games. This is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. I've been playing Tiny Bookshop. It's incredible. And then yesterday I got a new controller and I've been playing Katamari for about 9 hours. And this is how it's looking now. So it's actually getting there. And I'm still very much in love with the colours and the shapes. So what I would like to do is finish off the actual toucans. And it's kind of up to me when that happens. I don't know why I'm talking about it like I have to wait for someone to tell me which bit to do next. So I might finish filling in the toucans completely and then work on the background. But I'm having an absolutely lovely time with it. There's not really that much to do. There's a little bit left in there, a little bit down to this corner. I mean, you can see where there's gaps. I don't know why I'm pointing at them for you. A little bit in there. I really, really like, and the more I look at it, the more I like it. This, let me fold that in a really good way. These 2 leaves. I really like the shape of them. I've changed the pattern slightly. I've changed the chart. I've changed the chart slightly. I have changed the chart slightly. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Because on the actual chart, that orange, where am I pointing? That orange there is also sort of in the middle of those leaves. But then with the back stitch, it's like it's just looked weird to me. So I just filled that in with green. The other thing I've done to change the chart, well done, is I've swapped the colours on these tail feathers. So, hang on, let me have a look at that. So that one was meant to be purple on that side and blue on that side to match this one up here, and I didn't like it because it didn't make sense to me with the birds facing in opposite directions, so I just changed it. Who's going to stop me? Where are the cross-stitch police? Now, before I finish, I am nearly finished, I have some craft kits that I would like to make a video about one of them. And I'm going to put a poll up in the community tab, or the community section, or whatever it's called these days on YouTube. I don't know, I'm old, I can't keep up. I saw a Halloween costume for a skibbity toilet speaker man. I'm old. I'm opting out of skibbity anything. So anyway, I'm just going to show you a couple of them because I'm going to do a poll. I'm going to go over here, I'll be back. So I've got, hello, I'm coming back. Don't talk till you're on camera, professional. So these are from Craft Club, not my Craft Club, which I did a video about a couple of weeks ago and how dodgy they are. But Craft Club is an Australian company with a very similar name, and they keep having sales, and I'm powerless. So I've got things like this. I've got a butterfly rug kit, and I've got a couple of these little needlepoint half-stitch, they're calling them half-stitch? Yeah, half-stitch needlepoint pouches. So I've got two of those. I've got that one and another one. That would be two. So I'm going to put a poll up on the community bit, whatever it's called, and then that will decide which one I actually do a video about. So I've got two rug kits, I've got a cushion cover kit, and I've got two of these needlepoint kits because they keep having sales, and it's not fair on me. It's not fair on me, I'm taking it personally. But that is all I have for you this week, I think. Yeah, that feels like enough. You take care of yourself. Have a little, oh. I got so close to the end and then the wheels fell off. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to power through because I don't want to do another take. I think we understood that I wasn't going to do another take when I said shart. You take care of yourself. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.